Affinity Xtra, be extra.
Yo. That's some bars, bro. I know you got some bars.
The only thing I got right now is chocolate bars.
Listen, bro. We need to do some. Yo, bro. He needs to call his name comedy sketch stuff.
I wouldn't want to jump in there with
He's a comedian here, right next to you, know. I know you can freestyle, bro. Come on. Hey. Yo, man, use a page to listen to this.
I'm out to make myself look fool up. You know what I mean? Like, I think people that are from the hip hop era will be like, yo, do not, what is this guy doing? Man. That's not your ministry.
Yo, bro.
That's not your area of growth, man. Like,
don't sleep on this guy, bro.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on this guy. He starts his show like
here,
this.
Man.
Watch it, the Bluesy, the beginning of his next show is going to be the same with him. And be like, yo, gotta give you 16.
You know what you should do? I should come in here dressed, since we've got that karate chop kicking off. Okay. I should come dressed like Bruce Lee in that.
Oh, Bruce Lee?
Yeah, man. Is it yellow? That yellow and that black stripe, or is it white stripe?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Enter the Dragon.
I'll rather do the whole Cobra. What is it? Was it
Cobra Kai?
Cobra Kai, bro. That Cobra Kai vibe.
Some Danielson business, innit?
Yo, bro.
Nah.
Listen, man. So, guys, we're going to AX now mode because I'm almost going to start talking about Star Wars, but I need to just reverse, come back,
yes,
because it's not.
Although, last point on martial arts, actually.
Okay, go on.
Because I know you're a lover of YouTube videos, same as myself.
I was gonna say martial arts.
And I was listening to him. You know Michael J. White, the black actor from.
No, Michael J. Fox.
Nah, we're not talking about J. Fox. Although Michael J. Fox apparently isn't real now after that illness. But anyway, we won't go there. Conspiracy. Conspiracies, hashtag. But no, so Michael J. White, for those that don't know him, he's the black guy that was in a couple Tyler Perry programs. And he was originally the black guy in Spawn as well. But he's well known for his martial arts. So, what's that film? It's a classic film he's done where he's in prison and he just goes ham in prison, like there's blood and bone. Remember Blood and Bone?
I'm like, no.
You see.
So you watch.
It's not, first of all, just in case people watching this thinking, let me check out Blood and Bone. You can watch it all on YouTube. And it's not Christian. So if you're watching that thinking it's a TD Jakes remake, it's not. Okay.
Did you watch it on VHS?
Remember that re-recording that Fade Away? No, I did, but it was before that. But so basically he's a martial artist, well known. Messed with like Chuck Norris, all them people them.
Yeah.
And he was Michael J. White. And he was asked the question, if Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan got into a fight, who would win? And
my dude,
you see him.
Cause he
never wears a shirt. Look at that brother, man. His wife's pretty, but he's never wearing a shirt still. And he turned around, basically. That's his wife. Yeah,
that's still.
And she's just got as much as martial arts as he has. So that's when if he messes around, that woman best.
Is that her back in the day?
Yeah, well, currently. So him and his wife are both martial arts. They keep themselves very fit, and so you can't come into that marriage because they both know martial arts. If a girl tries to mess with him, she can karate chop her, and vice versa. And all I'm saying is you're gonna like a pack of Doritos if he can't handle you. But he turned around and said,
"That's beautiful. A healthy couple, man. That's beautiful, man. Just celebrate that, people."
But he turned around and said, if they had a fight, Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee, and this is him, not me, guys.
Okay.
That Bruce Lee would be beaten up by Jackie Chan. Yeah, you see, made you drink your coffee halfway through there. So he's saying that Bruce Lee isn't as strong as we've been led to believe. Although I don't think he's ever met him, so I don't think it's a fair statement for him to start off with. And he's got more martial arts and fighting experience than me, so I wouldn't kind of like try and out him in his face.
Yeah.
But on text,
that's interesting.
I just see him as a vegan.
Yeah, but the thing is, end of the day, so it's all about opinions. I think that, you know what, still, Bruce Lee was. It was almost the I'm not saying the founder, but he started the field of film and martial arts excellence. You know what I mean? You know, it wasn't a foolishness and it wasn't imitating. Where before him there was a pure. Unfortunately, people, you know, we had a lot of imitation in Hollywood coming through because everybody would want to imitate
Yeah.
Basically, they would paint a white person yellow and pretend they put like teeth. But there's a real thing in it. They put the teeth. So you know what I mean? And you know when they make them have bigger teeth or something. They used to do you just take the mick out of. That's obviously we wouldn't see it because we're black people. We'll look at it like when they paint themselves black. But they will look at it from the perspective that they would take the mick out of Chinese, Japanese people by putting
false teeth in to make it look.
Big ass. So so he had a lot of that. Because I was when I watching Bruce Lee the story, they showed him like going to a film and it had that in there.
I've never seen that.
Yeah. So it's kind of deep still, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Either way, man. When it comes to martial arts, man, once somebody go like this, I'll be like, yo, I'll walk out the room, bro. I'm not about that life.
I tried to do martial arts. It wasn't my ministry. But anyway, moving on from that one though. So hi guys.
yeah, man.
Well, welcome to the show, even though we're like a few minutes in talking about Bruce Lee and stuff. It's the music. Maybe next week we have to do something like, I was gonna say something slow, but we're not doing that.
We don't do slow.
This is what it is, man. We're not Usher. So yes, today, what are we gonna be discussing? So I feel like it's a good time to introduce, not the video first of all, but concept. So at the moment, just looking at some research, did you know that there was a few conversations going around, particularly around when it comes to mental health, where they say mental health is obviously on the rise, as we know. And this is things on the back end of, what's it called, like COVID and stuff?
Yeah.
Now, they were talking about black mental health and black men.
Is it on the rise or is it being recognised?
See, now I feel like it's a chicken and egg situation. It's always been recognised in one degree. Because I think they always know mental health is a big thing. But I think a lot of men, particularly more men slowly are talking about it, but not a lot of men are getting the help they need. So some guys are still withdrawing. So it's chicken and the egg. It's like some guys are like,
cool. I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, I'm impacted by mental health. But then if they look a particular way, then people are like, well, but you should handle yourself. So we
all have mental health. That's about it. You know what I'm saying? It's like we all have physical health. We all have mental health. It's how we take care of it. We have mental illness. It's different to mental health.
100%. But I think one of the other things that I'm talking about is it recognised well enough? Particularly...
No, it's not recognised.
When it comes to black men, and even more particularly, one specific area, church.
Bro, listen, church. When you got black and you got church and you put black and you put men in the mix there still, it's pride. You know what I'm saying? No, because the thing is it pride is the right word? Is pride the right word?
So we're going to get some text.
You say, oh, proud, or to the mittens of weakness. Because mental is connected to spiritual.
Okay, we got
you know what I'm saying? So if I'm mentally weak, that means I'm spiritually weak. So how can I be a man of God if I'm spiritually weak?
But are you though?
No, I'm just telling you. I tell you what the streets, how it goes on the streets, bro. Yeah. You put your hand up. Admitting weakness as a man in church, is hard.
But isn't admitting weakness as a man strength? Because actually, you've admitted that it's an area you're not strong
listen,
in.
Man, let's just keep it real out here, man. You know what I'm saying? Because bro, that's textbook, bro. That's so textbook. It's unreal, man. No. You're totally right, though. I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Admitting your weaknesses is part of growth. But our women and our infrastructures within our black communities do not allow us to do that. And women can say all they want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? End of the day, so they don't want weak men. They don't want men that are
some women. Some women.
I have to cover all of you. There's a few diamonds out there, man. There is a few diamonds. When I do make statements, I'll talk for the majority, but I talk from the fact that basically, we got massive high divorce rates. Due to the fact that we got a lot of young women in their 30s that have no men. You know what I'm saying? We have a lot of men a lot of men stuck up in of a generation of men stuck in mental institutions. A lot of men that are undiagnosed mental health issues all over the place. We've got a lot of men. We've got the highest, too many men in prison, too many men in institutions. I'm just going from that basis. How did we end up here?
So
is there a sanctuary for mental health? There's a sanctuary for physical health.
Yeah.
Because you can go to church, because Pastor moans that you not come here because he's, you know when you got a cold and he says you didn't come to church.
Yeah.
I would have prayed for you.
Yeah.
But when you talking in dual personality, you know what I mean? He's asking you to come to church. He's like, yo,
you got
meet me around the corner,
in your
yeah.
house, we're praying for you from distance.
Yo, you know what I'm saying? But no, that's how I see. And I'm just from more of an Afro-Caribbean surrounding that I've been around.
Yeah.
I know we're meant to be getting better, but it's just not good enough.
You know what? And I think it's gonna get worse before it gets better. But one of the things that we're looking at, particularly when it comes to mental health and men, black men particularly, so we're not discarding anybody else, but we are covering today just on black men.
Yeah.
Is one of the things that they're talking about is
Black and brown.
Black and brown, yeah.
That new phrase, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, innit? Like, let's make sure we cover
everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm brown, bro.
Do we though? Yeah, we're not gonna go black, brown, and red skin. So
and yellow.
Yeah, we have to do all of them, man.
And pinky.
Oh, you can't say that. So yeah, so we're gonna get us kicked off the show, you know.
But I'm just pointing out what nicknames I heard Jamaicans call each other. You know the ones that I heard people. Them Jamaican nicknames are dangerous.
Them Jamaican names need to get some prayer. But anyway,
man, cool.
So when it comes to males' mental health, there's obviously it's increased and it's recognised, but it hasn't been worked on. So for instance, one interesting conversation that I was listening to just recently is 2020. That should be very evident for us as black people. What is significant on that date? Why us as black people should be impacted?
2020.
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah, but there's something more specifically for us as black people.
Oh, with the BLM thing.
Yeah, George Floyd.
George Floyd. Okay,
so,
cool.
So we're 4 years on, where the world recognised that black people, particularly black males, were not treated equally, mainly in the States. Well, everywhere really.
I was going to go ET on that one still. So, bro, but you know what, bro? Black men watch that video and go, oh, and just carried on because it happens, innit? We didn't go, oh, George Floyd. We go, oh. That happened last week as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like as a black man.
As a black man, we was like this, oh, do you know that this is how we get treated?
You know, I think what made it worse for George Floyd, and like, this is my added to this one, is you're right, as a black person, we've seen this on and on. There's been regular situations where black people have been killed and it hasn't been televised or hasn't really been pushed. Obviously, this time we were forced because everyone was under house arrest, and so we had no reason. But everything was just pushed in front of you, so you had to watch it. The difficulty for me with George Floyd was everything that I was hated and about how black people are treated, regardless in any way. I was forced to watch it because this time now, it was almost like the world had woke and recognized this, and people from different demographics were like, we need to do something about this. We need to support our black brothers and our black sisters and our black families. Let's go and rally. And then we had big rallies in town. We had big rallies in America and all over the places about equality. And then it was like, what next? And I feel like it was done because we're all under house arrest. So was it because we was upset because a black person was killed? Yes, that was kind of like the fuel. And the flame was obviously, we were stuck in our houses and we want to get out. And some people probably used it as a good example to get out to protest, but nothing more was done after that. And so it was counterproductive for me, for everyone to stand out there shouting, saying we want justice, but nothing was really done. But anyway, we digress away from...
That's nothing I go on, you know.
Nothing happened and I digress. However...
Okay. I would challenge in terms of the space. I would say... I would challenge what you said in terms of things have been attempted to be done. I think there is. I'm not saying that things have done from a make a difference in terms of the day-to-day basis of young black men on the streets or whatsoever. But I feel that in terms of media has done some puppy show tries of covering things up. There's been more black inclusion in things, which has had kickback. Yeah. There has been more maybe black presenters. We're not saying that. So I can't turn around and say there's been some great attempts to try and appease that. I'm not saying they're the answers, but there is some visible attempts to and even now. you seen watching videos where even white people are like this, now that's racist. Now, where before 2020, they would not ever say that on TV.
Yeah, but I still think it's counterproductive. Like, we're going to change the show a little bit now. Because there's one other point I'm going to put on. Because now, there's a new recent one that came up, which is like, not a George Floyd 2, but another issue.
We never prepared for these people.
We didn't prepare for these. Now we're off script now. We're going for the unknown.
My script is caffeine, by the way. Still. Anything on my script, you know what I mean?
This is where you don't start the drinks with caffeine and
then you go for Lucozade.
Go for energy drinks, yeah. We're not sponsored by Lucozade, but Supermalt, we'll come back to you on that conversation. But yeah, so recently on YouTube, I don't know if you saw it, there was the young white guy who made the young black boy kiss his shoe.
Oh, bro, I want to do a video.
Have we got a video for that one?
Oh, bro, I have got a video for that one. Give me a few minutes on that one, bro.
So
you keep talking. I'll see if I can find it.
As we line up the video for that one, so just in case you're new and you've been hiding under a sofa or bun and cheese. So recently, I can't remember what part of the UK this happened in. Carlisle. Okay.
Bro, it's traumatic that was. But anyway, I'll get to that.
So in Carlisle, there was a young black boy on his way home. And was, I want to say, kind of like jumped upon a bunch of youths, all white. And one of the young boys thought it would be funny to tell the young black boy well, first of all, before he said anything to him, he pushed him into a bush, okay? And then he laughed and we looked at his friends and then said, kiss my shoe. Okay, go on then, kiss my shoe. And he looked at his friends and laughed and nobody jumped in to kind of say, yo, what are you doing? Like, nah, what, are you mad? No one said nothing, okay? And now, people are like outraged, what we're going to do, what's going to happen? Ain't no one gone down to Carlisle in their house to say, let me go and speak to the family about how you represent your children, how you deal with it. Ain't no one done nothing.
You
know what I mean? I'm not trying to strike up violence to say like, yo, let's go down there and egg up the house or do anything.
I'm gonna have it for anyone watching it. I'm gonna try and have this in the corner so you can actually see. Yeah.
So let's have a look at this thing now. Have we got the sound for it as well? Because
I don't. Let's see if this has got the sound because I don't know if I got the exact recording. 1 second. So guys, this is definitely off the chat.
Yeah, I was vexed when I saw this one. I was ready to like. I was like, I got a DBS, so I got to be careful.
Kiss my shoe. Oh yeah. Kiss the shoe.
Chile.
Right over hand of Ali.
Kiss the shoe.
Kiss the shoe. Kiss my shoe. Kiss my shoe. You're getting whacked. There, isn't Kiss it. Yeah. Get on your knees and kiss my shoe. Oh no. Kiss my shoe. 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 Oh yeah. Kiss the shoe.
Yeah, this is the body part before and then
this is what part?
Kiss the shoe. Kiss my shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can see that
I've seen this. This is probably the third time I've seen it now. Before that one, I didn't
look,
see it.
So he's got all the bullying part and the point. And the joke is, bro, I couldn't watch it too long, you know, bro. Cause it reminds me of my younger days. You see, and the joke is, I didn't do that. They never asked me to kiss no shoes.
Yeah.
But that's happened to me.
What, like someone told you to bully you, like from white people?
Yeah.
Oh, seriously?
Bro, come on, man. You ever talk to the just because I'm light skinned, I don't think man got away with it, you know, still. You know what I mean? You know, yeah, bro, for real. No, for like bro, I said this incident before. I was in primary school. We was the only black family in my primary school, you know, and what we did is this guy, I actually know his name, I actually know his surname. I don't want to mash him up now.
Mash him up, and his national insurance number.
You know, and he caught, something must happen. I'm gonna do you. So I was like, what the heck, man? So I never forget. I went around the corner now, walking out, and 9 of the children were around me, bro. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? 9 youths, about 9, 8 youths around me, and they encircled me, and I was in the middle. And he punched my face, and I forget, I had to get my tooth taken out the next day because he knocked not that bad. But that was screwing. But like, he didn't say anything to me, but he just sent me to judo. You know what I'm saying? After,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Afterwards.
Protect
But the problem is when you're only black kid, you don't have no backative, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then when I went to senior school now, there was this guy who was dual heritage. He was like the big guy Garfield, and anyone who started me, they just see him walking around. He's the hardest in the whole school. Yeah, it's like, oi, leave him alone. Don't know me, you know. But he's like, back in them days, black just had black. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And but yeah, bro. Yeah, knocked out the tooth. Yeah, bro. And I was at primary school, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it happened to me. This is what I'm saying to you, bro. So when people go, oh, right, you chatting rubbish when everything's happening in slavery days, like, bro, I've been physically attacked. You know what I mean? I've been, kicked in the floor, called the N-word all the time. It happened to me enough times.
Yeah, I can't say that's been my experience.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I had like my uncle, shout out to Bowen Buck. That was his street name back.
I was gonna say, man, that's like
back then they had some weird names.
They no King standing name.
Yeah, like some
Bowen Buck,
Yeah, man, Buck. He's known as Buck. He's also known as Bowen. So he was like when I was growing up, very Pan-African and kind of very supportive to us as young people to recognize and understand yourself. But also, I think demographically, I was also from a school, an area where it was predominantly black. And Asian, and so those kind of things we couldn't get away with. I think the only experience I've ever had was one person who is Anglo-Saxon, or we couldn't say white, said, you're an N-word, and he got the beating of his life.
Yeah, man, he beats him, man, bro. I was in like you was what area were you coming through at?
So I was Winton Green, but the area that happened in was Quinton.
Okay, Quinton sides. Yeah, but it's still that was my family's up in Quinton, so that has a good mix still as well.
Yeah,
so,
but I mean, we are talking the 90s, so 90s, I was like 90s. So 90s, it was a big mix, but it wasn't a massive mix.
No, it wasn't massive.
It was still
massive.
Predominantly
white. Of course.
With a regular intake of young black boys from Handsworth, Aston, coming there to school. This was in the days
is that Fort Willing?
School.
Yeah. Snap.
So
okay.
These are the days you went to a school where it didn't have to be like a mile away from your house.
Because everyone left Handsworth to go to Fort Willing School. Yeah. Or Harbour and whatever. George
like
Dixon. You know.
It was a naughty school, guys. And I wasn't well behaved there, and I went to church as well. But it was one where obviously black people were like, you say anything against us, and that was it. You're getting done. And I'm not saying it in a proud way. I'm saying it in a way where had that situation with that young kid happened in a school and
you see that video comes out next day, that guy's dead food.
It was finished.
Dead food.
Like,
you say no. And the thing is, I lived in an area probably similar makeup to Quinton, but nobody was coming to that school because we was only four of us when I went to there that was black.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, the whole senior school. You know what I'm saying? So there was nobody black in my year above or the year below. You know what I'm saying? So there's a couple that going on. There's a couple of Asian guys that was in my year, good friends up there. Halo, Mandeep Nija, man. You also mean him, best buddies, man. You know what I mean? And I almost got suspended because I had short sides.
Oh, serious?
Yeah.
And now you're growing your hair out so you don't go through that experience
again. Yeah, 40, you know. So. Yo, man,
and that's what we're talking about, mental health and traumatizing.
Yeah. But the thing is, I could have gone the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? I could have gone, and I think that and this is what annoys me when people talk to me. Is like I don't experience things like that. You know what I'm saying? But when I watch these things, and I said this because I'm a discrimination person that does what do you call it? Discrimination officer. You know what I'm saying? Officer for the Christian Football Christian League. So they sent me something to watch from the FA. I said to them, it's traumatic when I get pushed to watch courses on race awareness. It's traumatic because you're only just learning what I know, my lived experience. Yeah. So I said to them, I have no problem with them, and I think they're good courses. But for me, it's you just reliving my trauma. You know what I'm saying? So like it's cool. I said people to watch it, but I'll struggle to watch it. Just being honest with you, because all that's not make believe. It's real to me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So and I'm sorry guys, we're waiting to this. I don't think people just need to know that myself, even with my hair, bro. When I was 8 years old, man, teacher comes to me and goes, "Your hair's waterproof. You don't need to wear everything." And I was 8 years old. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Getting changed after swimming baths, and she comes to me and says, "Oh, your hair's so soft. You don't need no water cap." You know what I'm saying? Because it's waterproof.
And it's mad because that's those kind of things that would happen today where people be like, "That's not racist." I was making a comment, and it's one of them ones where you're like, Well, where would you put the
uneducated?
the beginning?
I wouldn't say.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's racism. I would say you're uneducated.
You know what I'm gonna say? I put it under the umbrella of racism only because I think racism's too broad.
Yeah.
And I think because of like over time,
Too broad.
I think it's too broad in the sense of it's taken too many shapes. So now, like, people don't fully understand it. I remember a young person saying this person's racist because one of their teachers was racist because they wouldn't let them have their afro comb in school. And when I found out about
is that a weapon?
Well, yeah, pretty much. But to the young person, they thought I have the right to have an afro comb because I'm a young black boy with an afro. So when I found out who the teacher who took it off the young person was a black teacher. So then I'm like, well, then this child is calling a black person racist.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
This is what I mean, yeah. And so, and then you had some people like, yeah, man, it's wrong until you deep into it and you're like, that's not racism. It's exactly that. It's a weapon. It's dangerous. As much as like he would probably.
Have they seen metal teeth? Metal teeth Afrocoms are dangerous, you know.
This was on them cheap plastic ones. At the same time, though, like
you can use it for something.
Yeah, and I think the reason I say it's taken so many shapes is when you've heard things at work. So someone's like, like for instance, I shouldn't laugh at this one. Someone was like, the office smells a bit funny. And then someone's like, what do you mean it smells funny? Like a bit of a weird smell. And then when they look into it, someone's had like oxtail and rice in the office. And then you're like, so then you say it smells like curry. They're like, no, curry's got a different smell to this one. It smells a bit like, I'm not too keen. And you're like, what, is that racist or is that just...
I'll go and go, yo, where is the rest of this?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And this is what I'm saying. So when you look at stuff like that and you're thinking, are they being racist or... Because that's not miseducated. Like, is that because they just don't like the smell of it? Or then you've got the other one where... and this one is racist, but they said to another black person, have you ever experienced having weed before? And he's like, why? Like, I just thought like you
Be
might
black.
have.
We would have weed. Yeah, that is based. That's racist. But I believe again part of the miseducation through media about black people. And this is why I don't watch Top Boy. This is why I don't entertain the foolishness coming out of our music because they push the narrative that black people all have experienced weed. This is why I boycott them platforms. I don't watch Top Boy. I'm not saying I don't say if you have or whatever.
I watched it.
You watched it? Okay, cool.
I
felt the guilty spirit lick it over to me.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I was in it. I was saying about this the other day.
The Top Boy, bro. The next day after that came out, every black person watched that, and then all of a sudden everyone's walking around like, this is my thing. I'm thinking, you bunch of
brother. I went to church in a black hoodie. I was all the way in, guys. I was all the way in.
The indoctrination of black people, man, it actually influenced you. But it's like this, man. When I watch Star Wars, man, and Darth Vader's coming out, I'm pure going.
Yeah, you got that asthma in it. Yeah, no inhaler.
And dark side comes out to me.
You see, the
good Roger's no good. I need to come up.
You would have been
safe.
You'd have been safer watching Top Boy than walking around with the coat hanger and light bulbs trying to whack up people with the truncheons. But I totally agree. I feel like some of these things do have an impact mentally on us. And again, going back to what we said at the beginning of the show, these things also have an impact on us mentally going forward because we don't talk about it. So for instance, George Floyd situation of him dying is 4 years old, coming up to 4 years old. And we're still seeing today impacts of racism of like young kids telling a black boy to kiss his shoe. So then it makes you worried because as we've got kids, so we think to ourselves, well, what future have they got? We've gone through all these decades of life looking at racism.
But the thing is, we haven't. I have to. This is what we do. This is why we're doing what we're doing right now here at Affinity Xtra, bro. Because the passiveness of our parents.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not to say they had to be passive to survive.
Yeah.
They had to accept to work 4 times harder.
Yeah, by far.
You know what I'm saying? I'm afraid I'm a generation of black men. Now, people can't tell me about you're not educated enough. People can't tell me to say that and that Roger, like you've been unlucky. Yeah, I got educated. Me and my siblings are educated. I'm actually the one who got the highest. I think I got the highest percentage in degree. You know what I mean? I almost got a first class degree in engineering still. Yeah. In terms of breaks, when it comes to jobs, I've been the most educated person in the whole block of 100 staff, but getting poor, getting marked down. You know what I'm saying? You know, why? It's because I'm too educated, too clever. No, because I'm black. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know, and it's like, you know, so.
But do you think systematically companies recognize that and be like, we're not going to give this person the chance because they're black?
Oh, just find a token. They find a token. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They find a token and they run with it, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they had to do. You know what I mean? I know my brother works for Apple, and I know they're doing big changes in times. And sometimes when they do these changes, it ends up wrong because they go too far, and the wrong people get the support, and then you get the wrong gatekeepers put in place because they're rushing things around and not doing due diligence. But again, companies like Apple, major companies, are moving things around. That's what I'm saying to you. There are changes. You know what I'm saying? But there are changes now, because now when we see in BLM, it's not black people in the middle of Handsworth, burning down Handsworth. It's now black and white people with Black Lives Matter on the top. It's different. Like, that's the first time I've seen a lot of white people, bro, out there going, I've never knew this. And it's interesting. I was watching a program the other day, and a woman, she's got a son, and it's interesting because, you know, she's in her son obviously is half black and half English.
Mixed race.
Yeah, no, dual heritage.
We're not allowed to say mixed race.
You get in trouble with work now.
You said think west.
So he's facing racism. Yeah.
Okay.
So he's like to his mom, you don't know, because his dad's not there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't know what you don't know. Yeah. And you're going, these dynamics have been thrown at people. Yeah. But then you're seeing her, she's in tears. She wants to know. She does care, but she might not be equipped. And you got this.
But she never will be neither.
Yeah, but the thing is, they actually care. Before, it was always the case they don't care.
Yeah.
It's not fair to say that they don't care.
Yeah,
it's just that they just don't understand. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? So it's a deep subject, bro. It's deep, man. Bro, we need to get to the video, you know, bro. Come on, I know, because it is a tasty part of the show. But
I'm gonna say as well.
But being black does give us some. It is it does destroy mental health, bro. It not destroy. It does. No. Being black is not a problem. Being black in facing the side effects of racism, side effects, system, blatant racism. You know what I mean? Just racism in all its facets.
Yeah,
eats away at you.
You know what I'm gonna say, and this is a hard pill to swallow. And I've heard someone say this, and I at first when they said it, I thought I want to slap you with the tambourine. I know it was meant to be this way. This is what happens when you have coffee and energy drinks before a show.
Black coffee, black coffee.
But someone said the other day, and I was like, I don't like that. And when I went away and mulled on it, I was like, they were absolutely right, and I don't like the fact that they are. They said, racism is like COVID. It's here to stay. I was like, I don't like that, but it's true.
It's true. 100% true, bro.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I get told by pastors, why do you do what you do, Roger? Why do you set up Affinity Xtra? You're never going to beat racism. So why do you preach, pastor? Because you're never going to beat sin. It's amazing. It's amazing how black ministers are quick to say, "Don't step up against racism." Yeah, but the thing is, they get up every week and says, "Stop messing about the women's," while everybody's getting their hands in the cookie jar. And then he'll preach again. But there'll be always somebody putting their hands in the cookie jar, men or women. But you still got to preach against it. You still have to stand up against it. You have to stand up for righteousness.
Yeah,
and righteousness is no racism.
I think the difference though with like race, with sin, and I think with racism is, as Christians, we believe that one day we will enter heaven and there'll be no more of it.
Yeah.
So there's a difference there, which means the sad thing is, well, same as obviously like entering heaven, innit? Until that day, you're going to have to accept that the world will always be racist. Black people will never be seen as equal. So there's no such thing as equality. As much as we try to prove it, it will never be to 100% where equality fits everybody, or particularly those of an ethnic background. Sin is always going to be there, as we know, which is why we have to always fight against it. However, it also brings them to the point that therefore church is also, and I know you're going to cost me on this one, guys, but I'm going to say it, is ill-equipped for it to support those of us in there. And also, and this one is a hard pill to swallow as well. And I'm going to be talking to my church about this one.
Equipped to do what?
To support black men or black people with racism.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's black churches, mixed churches as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I know some people might give me a phone call on this one like, brother, did you say that? I said it with chest, legend.
No.
I'll say it, and I'll support on that one.
Yeah. Based upon what's going on now, yeah. Amen.
And I think when I say ill-equipped as well, and we've got to be careful because we have got the show, I'm almost halfway through the show, is when it comes to mental health, and one that someone said, and I'll go back onto that point, is I think as men particularly, and we're going to get to the point of what we started with, men, black men and church, one of the difficulties is we are very good in church at hiding our true emotion. So no one really understands what we're going through unless we talk, which we don't always do because we're not encouraged to do. Because there's not enough time on a Sunday. Because after the service and after the service has been going on for 15 hours, then you want to go home and eat and you want to go and prepare yourself for the week to be doing what you did again. The problem is, and one of the things we talk about in church is a lot of spirituality. So if someone's going through some issues, the easiest thing for us as church to do is let's pray about this, let's cast the devil out. But sometimes it's not just about a demonic thing, it's about practical, yeah. Actually, you know what? Why is this person going through it? This trauma. It isn't, I don't think the devil is trying to have a hold on this person. It's this person has never really took the time to figure themselves out. So for instance, and a big prayer that I'm having for that young boy is, his experience now is a white guy has told him to kiss his shoe, and he's surrounded by young people who are white laughing, filming. The impact mentally on that has got to be immense where, will he trust growing up? Will his family trust growing up? Just say God has blessed him with a wife who is white. Will she now be allowed to be part of this family because their experience of people in that area?
What will be happening if that happens? I think, you know what? Saying that, bro, that's a good point, you know. I'm thinking, maybe what they tried to me to go white was my experiences. And they were funny with like that still. As you said it there, because I said straight away, when you said that, I think, why would he go white? You say, no, because of that trauma.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, is that why? Because remember, I grew up in the white area.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Usually black guys who grew up in white areas. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know,
go with someone who's white.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because, you know.
You go with what you know?
You know what I'm saying? You know, and that's not been on my radar.
Interestingly enough, I was told, I'm not giving out no names, that I from a young age, you know, that when I grow up, I'm not to go out with anyone that's white. And so I was very much like, it's not a place where I'm allowed to enter. So I never pursued talking to ladies who were white.
How many black boys have been told these black boys?
Yeah, it happened. And so I never.
Was that from a female?
No, it was from a male. I went out with someone who was white in primary school, and they were like, never do that again. So my whole growth from there was like, nah. And it was so indoctrinated in my head growing up. It was like, nah, like, you know what?
It's the confession.
This is my Confessions album's been out 30 years.
Yeah, I was saying.
But so it was one of them things. Now, I'm going to play a quick video actually, because before we run out of time. When this is Joel Tudman. I do like this pastor. I call him I'm gonna check him out, man. He's a good pastor, man. I call him the WWE pastor because you know them pastors that clearly work out and then they've gone to church and they've gone to preach, and it's like, if before they baptize you, they're gonna powerbomb you. So he's here talking about mental health and spirituality. But he's talking about it from a practical sense. Now, I did laugh at this one because the beginning part, but I'll let you start on this one.
Okay, let's go.
How have you been able to not only use your faith, but also merge that with the importance of therapy and things along those lines?
Go against the grain. I had to go against what I was taught because therapy was almost demonic when I was younger. And I had a difficult time as a child and had to go to therapy. And as I got older, being authentic in the pulpit is what was different for me versus the generation before me. They were superheroes, but suffered behind closed doors. And then my generation was suffering and wasn't afraid to go to counseling, but yet was confused because the messaging across the pulpit was conflicting to therapy. Calling certain mental disorders demonic, saying that you don't need therapy, you just need God. I think those are a direct reflection of how men and women have decided not to go and to just talk to pastors. And there's nothing wrong with talking to pastors, but you need clinical help. And so the messaging across the pulpit has to change and to be more acceptive to going to therapy. So for me, I was able to merge those worlds, and then I went to school and minored in counseling. So I realized it was okay, and that God is a counselor. So it's all right to get counseling, it's okay to get therapy. So authenticity.
What was life like for you growing up? You said you had some difficulties as a child and ended up having to get some therapy. What was life like?
Anger issues, parents divorced, didn't understand it, felt abandoned. Real strong church ground people. My parents were very, very educated, but I was just kind of the black sheep of the family. Every mistake that could be made, I made it. But some kind of way, I figured it out in the end, late, but I did figure it out. So it was tough. Once we hit rock bottom, I went to a counselor. I tried to commit suicide. I took about 20 Aleve pills. And in reality, the truth is I didn't want to die. I just wanted somebody to talk to me and somebody to tell me they loved me. I made a lot of bad decisions, and I got to the point where nobody could trust me. That was rock bottom for me. It wasn't drugs, it was just nobody, completely isolated, and had to figure it out on my own. And that molded me into this mindset that I didn't need family. And I didn't want family. So I just kind of created this anger with my family so that I could survive, to prove to them that I was going to be everything that I wanted to be without them. And for about 10 or 15 years, I didn't fool with my family. So I, in essence, I kind of turned into a monster that became successful financially, but emotionally, never learned how to express myself. Psychologically, couldn't really understand pressure, problems. So I still had a lot of issues internally, but outside, I was doing marvelous.
How can we get to a point where men feel comfortable just expressing all of it?
Regular conversation. We're looked at sometimes as ATM machines and support the game, pay the bills. We're supporters. I'm not saying that we shouldn't do those things, but that's what we're looked to do.
Come on.
And so regular conversation about how you're doing, and regular conversation about how your day is going, regular conversation makes a man feel like he can talk to you, not when things are blowing to pieces.
Boom. Mic drop. Deep. And you know what's nice about that one? It pretty much incorporates everything we talked about prior.
Bro, that's crazy, bro. Man drop. Yo, this video he gave, that's been set up from before the show, and we never even prepped for the show, bro.
Yeah, you see? But you say it just all ties in together, though.
Bro, listen, man. You know, man. And you know what it is?
And I want to say one thing as well.
It's crazy. So I'm like, I'm smiling inside myself because, you know, when you just love people that just get it, go on.
Yeah, man. No, because halfway through the video, when he talked about suicide, I smiled and I looked up. Remember, guys, I come from a comedy background as well. So there's a lot I struggle because sometimes I see things serious and then the part of my brain switches and sees the comical side.
Yeah, cool.
And I remember someone tried to commit suicide by taking, I shouldn't laugh, they took 200 M&Ms. They said they're gonna die by a sugar rush. That's a true story. So when he said that, that person came to mind, was like, that was the most dumbest thing that person ever did. Like,
I tell you what happened when I heard about the suicide thing. I remember the course I was doing on mental health. So I go, I went there. So maybe there's a difference between us. I'm not a comedian. But no, it really came to my mind that suicide is a mental disease. Now, there's a challenge. It's a mental health. It's mental illness.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? And I think. And I had my, I miss Angela, man, because she's mental health. Like, sometimes I'm gonna bring it back down. We're gonna bring it down because she's been fantastic. In I would say in my first version of Affinity Xtra, she's also been doing the Edge and she's been talking about mental health. But she's moved, got a job up in Stafford now. So, but we'll try and link up with her anyway. She's always cool. But like. Suicide is 100% a mental health, a mental illness, and I feel that it is not like my ignorance towards it, my friend said that it's funny because there's a period where I heard of a number of people that committed suicide. Some people said, oh, that's a weak person. You know what I mean? Some people said that's a person who is strong, because to actually kill yourself, you got to have a strong mentality.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But he just said it out straight. He didn't want to die. It's a cry for help.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's neither or neither. It's a cry for help. It is absolutely. They don't want to die. They want to be saved. It's a cry for help.
It's an end of your tether. Like because I've done mental health before, working with people in suicide, and someone said it really well. Yeah. It's the end of your skill set in terms of I've got in my toolbox and I've tried so many things and nothing's working, and it's that last thing I've got in my toolbox that says, if I end it, I don't need to worry about anything anymore. So I'm just gonna done my dance, and that's a hard thing to do. And I think I've known people who've committed suicide. I've got a family member who passed away from suicide, again from mental health, and that came from using what they called season weed. And that it impacts the family. Yeah, season weed is a mixture of all different kinds of TCPs and mad things, man. But like it impacts the family, but more importantly, it impacts the person who's going through that mental process of, how do I fix this? Like, no one, like you said, no one's giving me the hugs. No one's talking to me. Or if they are talking to me, no one's saying the right thing. Nothing's hitting, nothing home, nothing's landing. What would it be like if I just stopped the hurt by just not being here anymore? And that's a conversation in yourself of not being here anymore. That's a mad, I shouldn't call it mad because I don't disrespect it. Yeah, man. But it's got to be a difficult conversation that you're retaining to yourself and convincing yourself that because most people that do suicide and go through with it, plan that stuff out.
Yeah, bro. I could easily say, and this is the, I could easily be in a position, because when people just take, I'm in a part of the services or support where people just take, but the take. You go home, the take, and when you haven't got much to give. You take, whether it's financially, whether it's physically, whether it's emotionally, mentally. You know what I'm saying, when you are going to your home, or even going to meet up family, and you've just been drained, and then all you do is go. But you're like, I'm the oldest in my family. I'm the oldest of 4 siblings. You know what I'm saying? They're great brothers and sisters, but as a big brother, you can't afford to be like, you know what I mean, little brother mode. But my siblings are fantastic, you know what I'm saying, and I can be vulnerable around them, but like, you just don't naturally be in that place. It's called, get through it, you know what I'm saying, because that's how my dad, you know what I mean, taught me, because that's how they did it, you know what I mean. And like, you go home now, and there's expectation, and this is what I'm saying to with opportunities. These are knock-on effects when the black, when you went back up, where you talk about the black churches, and this is what I'm saying to black churches, you haven't been involved in black business. And if you was involved in black business, there'll be black jobs. Yeah? You know what I'm saying? There'll be jobs where people won't be looking at their skin color when hiring. They'll be looking at their skill set. Yeah? The end of it, so you can't chase racism, but you can create more opportunities that racial biasness are avoided. And the problem is, when there's no jobs for black young men, then you have a higher risk of mental health affecting men, because they cannot provide for their family. When the wife looks on Instagram and sees, or the partner sees that, oh, this is what we should be, but he can't provide that, he has to go to the streets to supply that lifestyle, because he's gone through education, he can't get it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So, end of the day still, you guys, I've been around people that make money from the streets. And to be honest, from the surface, they've done way better than me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And it's almost like, you was able to even put your children into private care and do private schooling and do all the stuff that I would love to do myself. You know what I mean? Obviously that would never attracted me, but that's the pressures of that. You know what I'm saying, bro? It's tough, bro. You know what I mean? It's tough, and it's like, you don't have the breaks, man. And this is where it's so multifaceted, the actual what we should be doing as a body. You know what I mean? Bro, and I hope pastors listen to us and stop to stop this 40. Well,
But you know, though, I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's a two-part thing as well. I think there's a responsibility on the church to kind
I'm not saying it's just the church, but the church hasn't played its role.
It hasn't, and that's why I said earlier before, I feel like they're ill-equipped, because I think that the church has got responsibility in my eyes of allowing or holding that platform to allow men to talk. And I know what church are going to say, well, we've got all different types of men. Yeah, that's fine, and open the door for all men, but also open the doors for men of colour. So if your church is predominantly mixed and you've got a few black people in there, I think it's important, very important at a church that's mixed, to also look at that and understand cultural differences. And the reason for that is, I think for black men that go to church where it's predominantly maybe white, there's a downplay in their character. So like, and they call it code change. So you know when you're at work and you gotta, so imagine like code changing. You've heard of code changing, innit?
I'm learning, man. I'm listening.
Right. So code changing is, you know, when you would be like,
Jermaine, bro.
Hi, hey, don't say full names.
Jermaine, is his name Jerry?
It is today. But yeah, there's a doubt. So imagine the mental strain on this then, yeah? So you're at work where you're already code changing.
Yeah, man.
And you're kind of downplaying a little bit of yourself to fit in, because you think, if I really show who I am, I'm going to be seen as intimidating, I'm going to be seen as aggressive, I'm going to be seen as this and this. Yeah. So I've got to kind of make my environment look safe for them. So therefore, I'm downplaying myself and making myself vulnerable. So they will say dumb jokes, and you're like, ha, 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 ha. And you hear you thinking, waste man. But you're laughing because you accept it. And then your church is a similar demographic in terms of you're that same black guy again. So you're downplaying yourself again, and you're changing yourself again.
But is that what they're saying with black women as well? Where they
black women,
because when they have to have the hair not natural.
Yeah.
Because it's not. They have to have it more looking like European over the years, the straight perms, the curly perms. They're getting more Afro now, and women have got in trouble for going more natural. Natural. But ultimately, now there's kickback on that now, because we want to be natural. Yeah. But being natural means it's aggressive. That is just absolutely, it's an offence. Yeah, like if a woman comes to work in a head wrap and all that kind of stuff, it's too much. It's bloody. And black men in dreads and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. So again, I tell you what, actually, and I'm not gonna dish out people, but I remember a young person that I know who his dual heritage, has a big afro, and someone said to him, "You're gonna have to shape your hair or cut your hair if you're gonna go and work in the big finance industry." And I was like, definitely not. What? So he has to change how he looks to fit in. Is that the narrative we're telling our people? Because code changing isn't enough.
Because passiveness was a generational code. To be passive towards it, to make it. But being passive has enabled racism to carry on.
Well, yeah, it makes it acceptable.
It makes it acceptable. Yeah. So what we're saying now is, while before our parents were going to work while we were while we being abused at our schools.
Yeah.
What we're saying now is, son, what? Okay, go school. We're going to be on the front line for you.
Yeah.
That's the difference, and that's the difference we need to be. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that's where I'm at. Because like I said, bro, ain't no one backing what we're doing here. And it's because the joke is, let's be real. How many Christian black media platforms can we talk like this?
No, I don't think of any.
And you know, and it's not bragging about ourselves, because don't get twisted, you know, man here we'll get lynched, you know what I mean, or whatever. Almost walking. Oh, sorry, it's kind of so racist. Okay, I'll get shot. Yeah. Oh no, is that racist as well, isn't it? Yeah, you're top boy in it. Yeah, you know,
you offend people.
I'll get. But anyway, so I'll get in big trouble. But the thing is, we need to be real, but we just need to step up, bro. We need to step up, and we need to go against the grain. And I'm sick and tired as black Christians, that we never ever respond to racism. We treat because we have to prejudge to survive, bro. Let's be real, and let's be real out here, guys. You know what I mean? You know, if I see Blue hooded up walking down the road, I'll go to the other side of the street because I've had to prejudge based upon my information. I've been taught that a man with a hoodie is a drug dealer, so I'm gonna keep my distance because I've been educated that way. So if you've been educated that a man with a brown skin is more likely going to be a drug dealer as a white guy, when you become a police officer, you know, say, yeah, I'm gonna wait at Hockley flyover, and I'm gonna stop every man that coming out there. But when I'm in Brown Hills, there's no police stops, but they're still moving around drugs same way.
Yeah.
So is that down to racism or education? You know what I'm saying?
I think it's both.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think education can sometimes be an excuse for ignorance as well, where there's expectation that people should know better, and they don't do better, and so as a result of that, they still kind of do harm. But I'm going to finish up on one point as well in regards to when I talked about code change, when I said if a black man, and I used it as an example, going to work and code changing, then going to church and also doing the same level of code changing, mentally that's going to be a lot of mental pressure on him, because eventually it's a case of, well, who am I? Because I keep adapting myself for different environments, and when I'm in my own space, I'm still unsure of who I'm supposed to be, especially if you have a wife as well, and she's putting a lot of pressure on you, like to go in a certain way. That's gonna be a lot of pressure again as well. And so when I say like the churches need to have responsibility, and it's on both ends. Yes, I think the churches should be putting a platform for men to have those conversations in a safe environment. But men, I think it's also important for you to recognize that there's a space there and access it and do better for yourself. It's paying it forward. If you make yourself better, then you're able in a stronger position to help your brothers, your bedrooms, your other guys who are going through it, who may not be as strong as you to ask for help. So when we talked earlier about, you know, is it weak for a man to try and commit suicide? Is it weak for a man to do certain things? I think sometimes it's safety in terms of letting people know I'm not prepared, I'm ill-equipped, I need the help. Get the help, then go back out and support people.
Okay, cool.
And that's what I think people should be doing.
Yeah, man. Well, it's a whole big thing. But like I said, guys, I got loads of stories to say about my childhood. And one I'm gonna do a show, because there's even a song, but I'm gonna leave it for now. But like, I'm gonna get my brother, man, and actually talk about experiences growing up, because my brother's dark skin and I'm light skin. So
yeah, you
know what I'm saying? You see my skin brother.
I remember when I first met Roger, I thought he was mixed race. Dual heritage.
No, we never said that back in my day. We said half something, innit?
Okay. You can't say that.
Yeah, that was just normal. But but the thing is, you know, I was saying to me the other day, and sometimes people go, Roger, you so gassed. I said, not really, because like I said, you know, I'm just used to every color brownness in my family. You know what I mean? You go from extreme light brown to extremely after dark. You know what I mean? But there's experiences when me and my brother faced that when we get older, we can't ever say nothing to when we're younger, and when we got older. You know what I'm saying? Don't give my brother's a success. He's working at Apple, just smashing it. He's not in no shop for. He's up high level management, and I want to give him a show, because we said one day we get to do a podcast and we talk about the experiences out there still. You know what I mean? So we're gonna hopefully do all that, and we're gonna hopefully really. For me, we're gonna really look into some of the issues that we had as black guys.
I think it's needed to be addressed.
Yeah,
and I think sometimes we do. It's that kind of conversation that's not been said, the elephant in the room, and it like.
So did you and your brother have problems really growing up?
So
like that?
We never had any racial problems, because I told you we was like we was in a black and Asian area, so we lived in the area where you looked weird. I shouldn't say weird. You were it was spot the white person. In fact, I remember the only white couple that lived, or family that lived on our road, was an Irish family. And it was the first time I've ever come into contact with a white person with, at the time, I thought our accent was weird. So
okay.
So they were a traveling family, they were travellers. And they became static family.
Yeah.
So when they moved to our road, they were like the first ones to come around and be like, can you come out and play? And you'd be like, remember that one where you're like, you come out and play and your mum's like, no.
No.
Bedtime and it's light and you're like, Mum, why am I going to bed and it's still bright?
Yeah.
So they were that generation where you could
You
hear
gotta
them
have a
playing
shower
on
now.
the street, and stuff, and you're
Just
like,
had a shower, you're not going out.
yeah. My mum was like, nah, and my kids don't play on the street. They're playing in the garden.
Yeah.
But I don't know you for you to come in my garden.
I
And
bought,
play.
your mum bought the garden for a reason.
Yeah, and then you know what's funny about that family as well is, so they were like 5 doors down from us. So they always heard us playing in our garden, and they wanted to play. But my mum was like, "You ain't coming from my front door to play in the house,
Okay.
because I don't know your family." But they were always drunk, and there was always a bag of dramas.
Yeah.
But the kids were cool. So what the kids did was they broke up the back of the gardens, 4 gardens up to our garden. So they could hop the fence and play in our garden with us.
Yeah, man, that's how you do it, bro.
So they did it, man. And like them gardens were big, you know.
Yeah.
But that was my encounter. But we didn't have issues with racism. We had issues with gangs, drugs, weapons. I think what our biggest difficulty was.
I'll stick to that problem, but you can keep that problem.
Our issue was more, we were going to church, but we had family who were on road very heavily and involved in drugs. So it was kind of do I stay in church or do I go with them? Like, because it looks more appealing. Like, Kumbaya look very different to playing Bob. So that was our issue growing up.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? I'll stick with racism. I'll face that. I'll stick with that cross, man. You know what I'm saying? Man. But no, bro. That's a heavy duty. But I only hit them things out, man. I think there's gonna be plenty more things, and I appreciate the show, bro, because like I said, you know, mental health for black man and I won't be afraid to say, bro, like, you know, part of my physical well-being and my mental well-being is I have to continually, weekly feed into this, not only through the exercising that I do. I treat it as a physical and mental health thing. I in a space where I put into young black men, but at the same time, as you know, I do fitness around me, guys, my like-minded, my age, you know, trying to encourage them in terms of that physical. And dare I say, therapy is real. You know what I mean? And I do it, you know, and I don't do therapy with a pastor. You know what I mean? You know, then when they say, I don't. I'm not saying it's wrong. I just don't. You know what I mean? No, you know what I mean? We were professional. I'm simple. But what do you to weak? No, that's not what I mean. I'm into preventative care.
Yeah. And I think it's important, and I think, you know, one thing I'm going to definitely say as we wrap up the show is,
is somebody going to clip that and say, Roger's a madman.
And I might do it myself. Put it on my Snapchat.
Look, Roger's.
Look what Roger said. Put some filters on there as well.
You know.
But now I do think one thing you did say this week actually is health is wealth. And I think it's not even about materialistic in terms of finances. I think it's wealth in terms of if you can live well and look after yourself, then you're able to look after your family and people around in your community. And I think if everyone's broken, then that's a cancer and that we passed on. And then we're just living, you know, kind of broken societies. And I think we are now responsible for a generation going forward where we are talking and we're open. We're teaching our children that, you know, talking is key, because obviously as young kids, we don't have the right words and vocabulary to express ourselves. So that's why they become very aggressive and angry. So, but if we can start teaching that from young, letting them know there's a safe space to talk, letting them understand themselves, and we're totally there. I teach my kids openly and often about black men, black identity, and even though slavery was one part of our history, it isn't our future. And so therefore I don't want them to start thinking that every Black History Month's about
slave, talking about slavery. You know what I mean? We were kings, man. We were great, man. We were dominators, man. We inputted into civilization. We are the backbone of civilization.
And this is it. So I think my kids know, like, they can work towards anything, and they need to understand themselves, and talking is important, hugging's important, crying is fine. Like, no one's gonna think you're a weakling because you're crying. Cry, but don't there's rules to it. You know what I mean? Like, don't just start bawling because your football team loses. But, like, you know, crying's okay. Emotions is okay as well. But more importantly, make sure that you have the right system around you and people around you. So that's one thing I teach my kids. And to my brothers and my bedrins, you know, and Raj, hopefully you can testify to this, is I check on people. I give people a shout. Yo, brother, how you doing? I'm good now, but how you really doing?
Yeah.
Because I think
he's actually uncomfortable with it, man, as well, man. You know what I'm saying? He'll go, but what you like, blood, like, yo, I'm talking about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and, you know what I mean? But no, and I think that, you know, It's good because you already know. And people ask me people ask me straight, man, like, yo, Roger, how you doing? And I'm like, I'm getting treated. I don't like saying, you know, in the church, we just naturally go, I'm good, man. Like, give all the gliders, get with me through, and you know, all the lines. I say, I'm done with that, man. I'm saying, nah, I'm good, but like, yeah, I'm only good because God is good. Yeah. That's the only reason why I'm good, because God is good. It ain't nothing to do with my life being good. It's just God is good.
Yeah, man.
That's the only good in my life.
And that's how sometimes you have to be real with people.
Yeah, man.
Like, yo, bro, tell me, man, I'm here.
Footprints, bro.
Sometimes I say to guys like, bro, it's a safe space, man. I ain't telling nobody. All right, cool, let's talk. Yeah. And so, you know, I've been on phones with my bedrooms and boys bawling. And you're like, bro, you have to do it, man, because it's like Coca-Cola, like a bottle of other drinks too. If we kind of like vent, if we don't vent, that's gonna pop. And eventually that pops in different ways, from suicide, fighting,
abuse,
cheating,
and the partners.
drugs.
Bro.
Man, like, yo, it comes out, it hits the surface in one way. And so if it's not done correctly,
it's mess, man.
Yeah, man. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? You shake up your drink bottle and see what happens. So that's why I think it's important for us to talk, man. So we have chewed your ears off long enough, guys.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I feel
we've gone over.
This is almost the detox show.
It is, man. Start talking about my football team next. Yeah, that's where my mental health starts.
That'll be excessive.
That'd be an upset. That's one where we need intervention and prayer. And any Chelsea fans out there, let's just keep praying. And anyway, we're not going there. But guys, it's been an amazing show. Yeah, take care.
Blessings, man.
Hi, and thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe, you like, and you comment, and make sure that you're sharing the videos and watching so much more. We have loads of content for you. I hope you enjoy. See you soon.